Right? So that's our first thing. This is in truth, it's informative in managing money. One thing you're definitely going to see on your exam about modern portfolio theory is the idea of adding additional diversification to a portfolio through what's called negative correlation. Under modern portfolio theory, Zamrito, if I have Exxon in my portfolio and I add Chevron, I haven't really accomplished anything as it relates to diversification under modern portfolio theory because the correlation is pretty close to one. I think of Home Depot and Lowe's, right? I mean, I can't tell those businesses apart. I walk in and I go, am I at Lowe's or Home Depot? So what modern portfolios would suggest is I should buy an investment with a negative correlation. The most I could get would be -1. In my example, I have Exxon. Maybe I add Delta to the portfolio, the airline company. Delta and Exxon have negative correlation, right? If oil prices go up, that's good for Exxon, but bad for Delta because they use jet fuel. If oil goes down, that's bad for Exxon, but that's good for Delta. So the idea that I'm adding this negative correlation to the portfolio under modern portfolio theory says I'm getting additional diversification by doing so. On your exam, that'll be a simple number, and they'll ask what would ask the least diversification, and it would be the one that has positive correlation, is close to 1, and then what would provide the most diversification in a modern portfolio, and that'd be the one that approximates -1, right? I still have a doctor. I know, Zambrito, you're saying let it go. 30 years later, I'm still mad at this guy. And we got lucky and we bought the stock at 90. The stock went to 180. And I said, doctor, we can buy a 175 put at 4. We can buy some insurance on the stock position, and we would have a guaranteed profit. We'd have, 90 for the stock, 4 points for the protection. We're out 94. Anytime between now and expiration, we could sell at 175. He didn't do it. The thing I'm maddest about, Zamrito, that he didn't do it is we would have had perfect negative correlation from the stock and the put contract, right? If the stock goes to 160, that 175 put is worth 15 points. The 15 points we lost on the stock would be made up in the intrinsic value of the put. And the thing I'm mad about just intellectually is how many times are we going to get perfect negative correlation? By the way, it was kind of fun to call him every day and remind him that had he bought that put, every dollar he'd be down on the stock, he'd be up on the put. Right? So there's an example of a correlation. And that is very much the example that you're going to see.